Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds, and we are the scouting staff for the Hula Bowl. Today, I have with me one of the athletes who participated in that event this season. His name is Robert Cooper. He's a defensive tackle out of Florida State. Nice to have you, sir.
Yes, sir. Nice you having me.
So,
Appreciate you.
obviously, man, we really wanted you at the Hula Bowl. It felt like we needed somebody to plug that middle up really well on the defensive side of things. But before we get talking about anything else, if you don't mind, give me somewhat of a background for you. Tell me where you're from and get us there to Florida State.
I'm from Lilburn, Georgia. It's about 30 minutes from downtown Atlanta, and just been growing up there since, and played my ball. I started playing ball at 3, and I just took that all the way. Ended up playing at South Gwinnett High School. Ended up getting the Florida State offer my 10th grade year, and I ended up committing in 2016. So that was with Jimbo's staff, and by the time I got to my senior year, Jimbo decided to leave, and but I decided to stick through it, and Coach Odell didn't leave, so that was probably the main thing that kept me at Florida State. Coach Odell didn't leave, so I just stuck it out, and I got to Florida State. Freshman year I didn't really play too much, but I still got a decent amount. I was more of a reserve at the defensive tackle, but got the starting job my sophomore year, and just been running with it since. So I'll say I definitely had a great career here.
Cool, man. So, just a quick recap once again. Kind of grew up outside of the Atlanta area, and then eventually found your way there to Florida State. If we talk about your time actually in high school real quick, talk to me about things there, and even if you did any other positions or
Uh,
played any other sports while during your days in high school.
Not only I got into basketball. I played basketball in high school my senior year. That was just for conditioning, just getting ready for college and stuff like that. But I ended up going out for track and field for a day. They wanted me to throw shot put, but I threw it like a football. So then yeah, that just didn't go right. So yeah, I just I just stuck with football and basketball at South Gwinnett.
Yeah, so you're like, man, this ain't for me. So I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
threw it. It
not
didn't
doing it.
feel right. I was like, no, this ain't for me.
Well, no, it's fine. I mean, it's not for everybody. I mean, you need to
Yeah,
learn technique and stuff with those things.
yeah,
So I mean, it doesn't take to everybody. But hey, man, when you're in high school, sometimes you just I don't know, dabble in a little bit of everything, or even like you said, I mean, if you're just trying to stay in shape, you get out there, shoot some hoops or something. But obviously, you're a football player, dude. And you've done well for yourself at that sport. So I gotta ask the question because I've been asking it to everybody. Um, why do you love the game of football?
it really started. I grew up in a football family, so when you got my dad played ball and my brother played ball, so it was it just it felt like I just grew into it. Like I said, when I first started playing football, I really didn't really know what I was doing, didn't really know the sport like that. But like I tell everybody, when I got to middle school, 6th grade, 7th grade, that's when I really started growing a love for it and started realizing what football could do for me and my family. And, I just started taking it serious. And, I just, I like just, leading people, getting, knowing different people, and, everybody coming together for one purpose. So,
Gotcha. And during your time in high school, did you go both ways, man? Did you play any other positions other than D tackle?
yeah, I played D tackle, I played D end, I played center, guard, tight end. Yeah, that was about it. That's about it right there.
So center guard and a little tight end. So has it been a while since you scored a touchdown, man? I mean,
Yeah,
what's
yeah, it's been a while, but it's definitely not. It's not something new to me. I tell you that. I rather get the tackles in the backfield and the sacks. So
Well, no, it's fine though. It's just I think it's so exciting when the big men finally get a
Yeah,
chance to touch the ball, and whether it's a fumble recovery or like one of
yeah.
those miracle interceptions where the
Mhm.
doofus just throws it straight to you. But cool, man. Well, I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe one of these days you'll get that opportunity. So
That's why I say you got to embrace it because like you said, we don't get that ball in our hands a lot. So when you do,
heck,
you definitely got to make it
heck
count.
yeah, man. You get that ball in your hand, you're gonna be running like a madman because you want to score. So.
Because I look back at some of the film, that some of the Florida State games, and I done fell on top of fumbles. But when looking back at it, I'm like, man, I should have just picked it up and ran because there wasn't nobody really near me.
Oh well, man. Hopefully you get
Yeah,
that opportunity at some point. So,
yeah,
Robert, you obviously went from high school to Florida State. And like you said, they really wanted you early, man. Like they were all on top of you. A very high recruit coming out of high school, and um, I don't know, man. Was there any other I guess, place that you could have landed, or was it always going to be Florida State?
uh, I'll say, well, at the moment, when I committed in 2016, Florida State was one of the first, big schools that I actually took a visit to. So, I think, like I told my dad, that was probably one of the main reasons I committed. It was just the first time at a big school, all the coaches just showing me love. But like I said, after I committed, I mean, I was already getting a lot of, big schools offer me, but, that's when it kind of ramped up and I was taking other visits to South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, things like that. But either I was either gonna stay at home in Georgia. My plan was to either stay close to Georgia anyway. So anywhere in Georgia, Florida, Alabama, I was gonna stay close to home.
No,
But
no, I get you, man. But what makes Florida State so special to you? Like, when you look at it in your time there, when you think about you as a student athlete.
yeah, I mean, just how really just how they brought me in at first. It was always a everybody says it, but it was really a family atmosphere when I came, man. And like I said, Coach Odell, and he knew about me since sixth, seventh grade, and I feel like we developed a great relationship throughout before college and during college. And like I said, he was one of the main reasons I came down to Florida State. Just Coach Odell has a great record with defensive tackles, and just being in his unit room, just learning from him all I learned a lot from Coach Odell, from little things to big things, and I'll definitely say he helped me, on the field and off the field, and it's just, and that's what just makes it special.
I mean, certainly a great tradition at Florida State.
Most definitely,
And so when guys are heavily recruiting you and they want you to come play for them, I mean, you finally get out there and you're like, man, like this is a bit of a dream,
yeah,
and dude, you lived it, and you put together a solid career there.
mhm.
I would imagine that you also got a chance to get in the classroom and maybe get a degree or
Yeah,
so. What
yeah.
were you able to get that in?
I got mine in sociology.
Sociology. Why sociology?
At first, because when I came into college, I started off with finance, and because I thought I was a math guy coming out of high school. I was always good at math, but that I ended up switching that after my freshman year, and then I got into sports management, and didn't really click with me. I just wanted to find something that I was really interested in and something that I would actually enjoy. So around towards the end of my sophomore year, going into junior year, I switched it to sociology. Just I just found it really interesting to me, just how the society works with each other.
Well, hey, I mean, you obviously got that degree. And so Rob, I gotta ask you, hypothetically, what do you see yourself doing with that degree? Like, is there maybe like a job that you could see yourself doing like maybe 10, 15 years down the road?
I have to, no, I just have to look at it after, just after,
He just said,
football.
"No, man, like I just got the degree."
Yeah. Like I
No,
said,
no,
it's
it's
hard.
all good. I
It was,
teased you a little bit.
um,
Um, But hey man, in all fairness, most people that I talk to, they end up getting a job that has nothing to do with their degree.
Yeah, that's a lot of people tell me in college that you ended up with one degree, but you end up getting a job that's out of there. But you know, it is what it is.
No, it's all good. Let's get to talking about some football, man. So, again, during your time there at Florida State, you said that it took you a while to get yourself, I guess, inserted into that defense. But once you
Mm,
got in there, I mean, you were a fixture there on that defensive line.
mm.
Talk to me about your overall experience on that defense and maybe where you lined up and like that sort of thing.
Me, I lined up mainly. We played at a 3 front and a 4 front. So I was at first. I got it. Basically, I got experience at the zero tech all the way to the three. So from the 0, 1, 2, 2 I, three. I played all those. But my experience just playing with all those defenses. It was a different defense every year. But I was always. I'm grateful that I was surrounded by guys who always wanted to get better. I was around some great leaders. Marvin. Brian Burns, Jermaine, like all those type of guys. Just being around those guys and seeing how they approach, either the hard days, the good days, the game days. Just, I was always a learner. I was the one sitting back, always, picking up what other people were doing, and so I just anything that would help me and make my experience more smoother and stuff. But like I said, a lot of other players helped me, but I'll just say the overall experience was great. I came in college. I didn't really play much because I came in over 400 pounds, so it was more of a trying to get my body right before I touched the field. So that freshman year was a real learning experience for me. I can say I learned most of what I know now my freshman year, just going through being a big fish. Always I never sat the bench until I got to college, and so it was definitely eye opening for me. And ever since then, like I said, I got to start a job my sophomore year, so everything just built it on from that. So
So, you said you came in like upwards to like almost 400 pounds. Like,
yeah,
is that
the
for
first
real?
weigh in I was 401 pounds.
Holy moly. Well, well, not so much. I mean, yeah, I mean, that's a heavy weight, but I
Yeah,
mean, the in a very interesting thing, man, is dude, right now you're sitting at about 300 pounds. I mean, you had
yeah,
lost 100 pounds since then. So, I mean,
yeah.
you definitely trimmed yourself up pretty good, which is sweet. So, one of the things that we really liked about you when we were scouting you for the Hula Bowl is that you did a very good job anchoring yourself and stopping the run. I mean, really solidifying that middle of the defensive line.
Mhm,
Whether or not you're playing that nose or one of those other positions that you were talking about.
mhm.
So, what do you feel separates you as a prospect? I mean, what do you think is that maybe the one attribute that is your best?
I'll say just stopping the run. I mean, I like I tell the scouts when they were asking me, just I really embrace my role. I don't try to be like anybody else. Some D tackles they want to be certain pass rusher like this and this, but me, I know what I'm good at. I know what I'm what needs work. I'm a guy who I work on the things that I'm good at, and I work on the things that I'm bad at. But I feel like what separates me is just that, and I some people just don't like taking on them double teams everyone. I mean, people don't like that. I mean, I embrace it. I love taking on double team. I like making sure my DNs are getting one on ones and making sure my linebackers aren't being touched. To me, it's not always about the stats. For me, it's more about how the guys around me are doing. Because as long if I know 2 or 3 guys are on me, I know somebody's gonna make a play. Somebody's untouched. Somebody's gonna make that play. And if it happens to if I happen to get single block one time, it's my job to make sure they don't single block me again. You gotta. I mean, it's not about taking on double teams. You gotta force it. You gotta force other teams to double team you. But yeah, I like that. And a lot of people said pass rush wasn't my main thing. But like I said, I work on things that I'm not good at. So being able to stop the run, making sure nothing's going up the A and B gaps, and also pushing the pocket to where a quarterback can't step up and make his throw. I embrace that. I feel like that's the main things you need to do as a D lineman. Make sure your linebackers aren't being touched. Make sure your DNs are getting single blocked and making sure you're present on the pass. I mean, that's the best thing you can do.
Nice. And so, like you said, man, some guys in your position, I mean, you need to embrace the fact that, you're out there to hopefully help set up other guys to make the play. And, you're not getting some stats. And so, there's a bit of selflessness that
Yeah.
is necessary for such position, which it seems like you have embraced. So,
Yeah.
um, and so, also you had mentioned that you a little unique, maybe not like everybody else, but I mean, dude, I'm sure you watch players at the next level. Maybe I don't know, maybe I don't know if you're trying to model your game after somebody else, but I'm sure you're a fan
Yeah.
of somebody at the next level.
Yeah.
Who give me a couple of examples of those guys.
Yeah, because me, like you said, I like to pick a little bit out for different people. Like I like Kenny Clark a lot, the nose guard for the Packers. I like Grady Jarrett, Fletcher Cox. I mean, I know he's coming toward the end of the day, but Fletcher Cox he's always been up there for me. You got DJ Reader, um, Jeffrey Simmons. I mean, even though he be two different body types, but he still does some great things. And I'd rather stick with those right there.
Well,
I
I mean,
would say Aaron Donald, but Aaron Donald be doing some things that so he's some things you can't even.
yeah, Aaron Donald is on a different like level,
Yeah.
man. Like he's in God mode out there. So I mean,
I seen him jump and do a move like that. You don't even teach that type of stuff.
yeah, no, I hear you. So Robert, once again, like we felt it really necessary for us to extend an invite to you to come down to the Hula Bowl, which it wasn't much of a journey, but I mean, we had you down in Orlando for that this past season. Talk about your overall experience at that event, whether it be the call, the drive, the weekly activities, or anything else, man. Talk about it
I
for a little
mean,
bit.
I would like to. Well, first of all, I appreciate the opportunity, but the main thing that opened my eyes was first, being around, a whole bunch of, great guys around the college football. I mean, some guys I recognize, but you see a lot of good game out there. So I feel like grew a lot as a defensive tackle, just going against some of the best offensive line in the country. Just not everybody blocks the same, so it was good to, feel different type of offensive linemen and, had that experience. And also meeting NFL scouts and talking to them, that was something that opened my eyes because, that's something that, this process is something that you dream about. So when you're actually in it and you actually sitting face to face to these scouts, and, they're asking about you and your background and stuff like that. It was definitely different. After the first two interviews, I started, to calm down more. But I was just stuck. I was like, man, this is really happening. Things like that. But the main thing is, it was good to just meet new people. As always, because not everybody knows, the guy under the helmet. But off the field is, creating new relationships with, other guys. Just knowing, y'all in this whole process together. So that was probably.
Cool. So like you said, man, you talked to a whole bunch of scouts. Approximately how many different teams did you actually talk to?
I want to say it was around 20 something. It was a good 20 something.
20
I
something
don't
for
know.
real, man? Like did you
Yeah,
even like
because
take a break at all? I mean, good
no,
Lord.
that was the crazy part. I literally, like, right after practice, I go to my phone and I see teams already, like, wanting to interview me as soon as I get back to the hotel. Some days I couldn't even get to a shower till like 7 because as soon as I got back from on the bus, I'm going straight to interviews, and interviews is back to back. And like, it wasn't tiring, but it was, like I said, it was I learned a lot from it. It wasn't nothing that I was like, dang, about. It was, I was actually happy to do it. Of course, who wouldn't be happy to do that? But yeah, it was definitely a great experience for me.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, it's certainly a surreal moment,
Yeah,
because I mean, you're an NFL prospect getting interviewed by NFL teams.
yeah.
And so people obviously interested and want to know like your background and
hmm
drill you with a bunch of questions.
Yeah.
Anybody give you any like strange questions or anything that threw
um,
you off or no?
um, I wouldn't say they asked me strange questions. It was more of the only thing that felt strange because some of the things they already knew that I didn't even know they knew. Like it was something they would hit me with. And I want to say like, damn, how'd you know that? But it's just crazy when when you're in that position and they're talking to you how much they already know about you. And then some of it they just want to see, if you're gonna lie to them and things like that. But it was definitely that was definitely eye opening.
Yeah, man, these guys do their background checks, man.
Oh
They
yeah.
they've been scouting you since middle school too, man. So I mean, they'll talk to you about those things. So
My high school athletic director called me and he was like, the Rams just came and talked to me about you. I'm like, dang, I was like, they went to my high school and talked to my athletic director. I was like, yeah, this is pretty deep.
yeah, man, they go deep. So, but hey, I mean, hopefully you had a great experience at the Hula Bowl,
Oh, for sure.
and share that with some people.
For sure.
Being a Florida State alum now, we had a couple of interesting things for Florida State people. We ended up putting Bobby Bowden in our Hall of Fame. And we also
Mm.
had Ron Simmons there as well, which is a very fun time. So it's always great to be able to represent schools like yours,
Yeah.
and some of the players and coaches that have been involved in the past. So um,
Actually, I never got a chance to meet Ron, but I definitely had a chance to talk with Bobby Bowden 2 times. And some of the, Mickey Andrews, he was with us for a whole year. So, just like I said, I'm always learning. So when those conversations were really information, it just definitely got me right.
Great. So again, we had you at the Hula Bowl. You had a really solid career. When you think about all the memories that you had, overall, what's going to stick with you the most? Like, is there like a game or even a personal play that you were involved in that you can share with me?
Um, I am. I don't know. I have to say this. When I got the starting job my sophomore year, in the first game, I mean that I feel like me personally. I mean, it might not be the story you want, but that's. I mean, just running out the tunnel for the first time, and then when defense getting called on the field, and you running out there and setting the tone is. And that crowd was packed too. It was, that's a moment I'll never forget. Just running out there and setting the tone and was actually just being the starter.
Who was your opponent?
Oh, we was playing Boise State. It was playing Boise State for the first game, and it was. I think no, we won that game for sure. We won that game.
Crazy, man. Well, hey, let's take just a brief moment. I want to meet this guy outside of a football player real quick. So give me a couple tidbits about you that maybe not everybody knows, whether it be your hobbies or something. Give me a little something that maybe not everybody knows.
I would say I'm a pretty good golfer. I mean, I didn't golf till this past year. It took me this long because I always looked at it and it was like, it looked like something that's easy. But hey, when I got out there, man, I tell you, the first couple swings didn't go too right. I don't even know where the ball went, but it was definitely that's something I started, getting into more since last year, and I just that's just really I'm a guy who really just sticks to himself most of the time. Like I said, I still treat myself, go out to eat, do things like that, but I'm kind of under the radar, if you want to say it like that.
Cool. So hopefully you get a chance to maybe do a little bit more golfing.
Yeah,
But before you get there, I mean, I know you have a pro day coming up soon.
March
And
31st.
then it's on to draft day. So how's the rest of this time from now until draft day, gonna churn out for you?
Uh, well, from now on is now just I'm in the second phase of my rehab, and right now I'm starting to get more into jogging and running and things like that. Actually, lifting with some, some type of resistance or weight. But going into pro days more, trying to get some. I want to go out there and run a little bit. I'm still not too sure about the on-field drills just because it depends how my shoulder's going to be at the time. But just well until March 31st is just going to be just preparing my body. Just making sure everything's going to best as it can be. But after that, it's just going to be probably down in Georgia, just getting ready for these personal workouts and like you said, getting ready for the draft. See where I'm end up.
Awesome, man. Well, hopefully you'll hear your name called, man. I mean, if you do get your name called, man, where are you gonna be? I mean, you got some party planned or something, or what?
No, I mean, I always told my mom we're gonna do it in the house. I mean, she always said, always asked me what I want to do for the draft, and I told her, it's just to me, it's just better to be where it all started. We ain't never moved houses, so I'm in the same house since I was born. So, like I said, I'd rather do it where it all started. Just do it in the house.
Awesome. Well, Robert, let's go ahead and close things up. I mean, it's been great, getting to know some of your story and sharing some good memories with you. I know that, like you've mentioned, I mean, you've sat down with so many different scouts, it's unreal. But there's still maybe a couple more that haven't spoken to you yet. And I want you to go ahead and take the opportunity to speak with them now and tell them why you would make a great addition to their team, why they need to sign you, draft you, and bring you part of their franchise. So go for it.
Saying, like I told you, just I'm a guy who embraced their role. I don't look to do, two more, two less. Just I'm always willing to do what's asked of me. I'm a guy who's always willing to learn and apply. I never feel like I'm too perfect at something. There's always something that can be worked on, and I'm a guy that believes in getting 1% better every day. And, it's something. And it can be football related or not. Just always getting better. And, in anything I do. But at the end of the day, it's just you're gonna get somebody who embraces the nose guard position. Making sure the run is being controlled, run is being stopped, and also being present there in the pass. Making sure the quarterback can't step up and have all that extra time. That's what I do.
Gotcha. Well, certainly appreciate that mentality. I think it's going to really help you moving forward. The whole idea of just, like you said, I mean, hopefully getting better, that 1% like each and every day. So,
Every day, they got to be at something.
but I do think that you've put together a solid resume for NFL teams, and I am fully convinced that you're going to get that opportunity at the next level. It's just about who, man. Hopefully, somebody's already fallen in love with you, and they'll give you a call, here in the next couple months. So, but I do wish you all the best, during this process. All right.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you.
Sure. Once again, I got with me Robert Cooper. He's defensive lineman out of Florida State. Check out this guy. He's going to be in the league next year.
Yes, sir.